The final! This game is rad. I haven't seen a launch for a game go this hard since Minesweeper, dog. And it's very obvious to see why. The finals answers the pleas from both casual and competitive players of the shooter genre. It brings back features from games that have been long since forgotten, and cobbles together so many mechanics from so many different games, while also creating never-before-seen ideas that it's hard to explain the game to new players. Like, okay, so imagine Apex Legends movement tech, Fortnite's Time to Kill, and Team Fortress 2's class-based shooters that can be customized into subclasses. Melee mechanics similar to Battlefield 4, game modes similar to King of the Hill sort of, but in practice very different, ultimates from Overwatch, fixed spray pattern like Counter-Strike, game show aesthetic from Fall Guys, and weapons from every shooter listed above. Did you get all that? I will say it again. Today we are appreciation posting about why the finals feel so goddamn good when every other shooter feels like garbage. Part 1, Destruction. Destruction in this game is a main selling point. The only reason I knew about this game is because of its destruction that caused so much of a hubbub. And while I think that many people focus on the destruction in this game too much, as the game has plenty of factors as to why it's so good, I can't deny how sick the destruction is. Games like Battlefield 4 had destruction, but it was predetermined. Somehow, Shanghai falls in the exact same spot every time. This ain't the case in the finals, as destruction is simulated on the fly. This makes games more dynamic, as each building is gonna collapse different every time. Except for the bridge. We all know where the bridge is going. This allows for more creative solutions to problems. You could plan out how you're going to attack a building, sneaking around with your teammate buddies, watching each other's flanks, like, oh, look at that door over there, oh my god, oh, guys, get on my 6 and take point at this door, and we could run through like 20 walls and destroy the rest with a sledgehammer. I don't even know how you're supposed to plan against this. I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Nobody's going to plan for this. Destruction makes the game feel very fresh every round, but that's not the only factor at play, because the whole map is dynamic. Sure, you might have done well in regular old future Las Vegas, but are you gonna do as good in Turret Las Vegas? Or Mad Max Las Vegas? Or Duck Las Vegas? All of these may feel like very small changes that are only there for aesthetic, but this couldn't be further from the truth, as these changes can legitimize certain loadouts over others. Those turrets are activated by sensors and can't be destroyed. So if you have abilities that can get around the sensors or block the damage, you're going to be at a big advantage over teams that just have to face tank those turrets. And you can bring less mines or defensive options, as the turrets will do that for you. That Sandstorm arena is a little more passive on the other hand. Because of the limited visibility, it makes sniping less optimal, and closer range weapons like the SMGs and shotguns become much better. The most significant change to the arena obviously being the big duck, because you piss your pants when you see it. The tournament mode format means that you're going to be battling maps that go against your meta, as you can only have 2 loadouts and the tournament format goes to 4 rounds. So you gotta ask yourself, are you going to be an all-rounder, useful in a good amount of situations, but praying that you don't have to use another tool from the same type? Such as using a jump pad to get up high, but then you can't use a zip line to get to somewhere else. As a specialist, you could do stuff like that, and you would be amazing when the cash-out stations are placed super high in the arena, but when they aren't, you're not as useful as an all-rounder would have been. And can I just say that the classes and loadouts in this game are an amazing return to form? Character-based shooters more or less started out with Team Fortress, and were perfected in Team Fortress 2. Then these stupid games like Overwatch and Valorant and Apex come along and do class-based shooters also, but the thing that they did different was quantity over quality. See, the thing Team Fortress 2 did right was making characters very complex with future updates. These games missed that memo though. In Team Fortress 2, you have a base character with mechanics that you can learn and get used to. Then once you find a main, you can customize that main in ways that slightly affect how you're going to approach playing them, making playing just one character not as stale. Take Soldier for example. Simple character, has a rocket launcher, shotgun, and a shovel. Gameplay mostly consists of firing your rocket launcher at things at mid-range, firing your shotgun at close range, and using your shovel only when you run out of ammo in both. However, if you equip the rocket launcher that does no damage, bear with me, replace your shotgun with boots that make you fly better, and equip a shovel that does triple damage while you're in the air, then you become a class that can jump and fly through the air and one-shot most classes in the game with their melee weapon. This is the kind of stuff Team Fortress 2 did that most other class-based shooters didn't do. Instead, the genre decided to go the other route and make super basic characters that can only be really played in 1 or 2 ways. Having a main that you commit to in these kind of games is really risky, because in one update, they can make your main suck sewage through a straw. You're much better off doing everything related to that type of character, and for some reason, usually, those characters are not fun. So despite mains being a core practice by most players, maining a character is very suboptimal. But just like in Team Fortress 2, the finals allows players to customize their characters to create an all-new experience. This is what's known as a subclass. In the finals, plenty of these subclasses exist. For example, the light class is supposed to thrive off of opportunity, picking off classes that are low health and having that mobility and speed to do it, but kinda sucking at head-to-head combat. But equip the sniper rifle and everything changes. Now at range, you are the threat. You can kill a guy from across the map if you hit your headshots. But now it's harder to follow up on your teammates' damage, as going in close is pretty suicidal. But it can go the other way too. Equip the shotgun and invis, and you can cloak around until you find your prey, wait for the moment to strike, delete a guy, and hopefully have enough cloak to get out before their teammates have time to react. This is a bit more of a risk though, because how close you need to get, and because missing one shot is catastrophic. But if you can hit your shots, you may not need your team to pepper them up, as this thing just kills people outright. Same stuff applies to medium and heavy. Medium can give up their healing and become an unstoppable defensive force, and heavy can become the ultimate damage sponge. This again makes it so that you can main one of these characters and feel like you aren't wasting time because the meta could change overnight. So the finals is doing a good job here, and hopefully we'll continue to update the game with new weapons and utility to eventually rival Team Fortress 2. I don't really have an interesting segue here, I just want to talk about the game mode. The tournament format has been getting more popular on multiplayer games recently, that being a tournament outside of esports. Rocket League, Fortnite, Valorant, and League all have these casual versions of tournaments, along with a ranked mode. But in the finals, tournaments are literally the name of the game, and the ranked mode is literally a tournament format. I personally have only played Valorant player-made tournaments, and they were an absolute blast. Hands down the most fun I've had in that game, and that's saying something. But the problem was that they required having friends or being considered good.
Yup.
The finals is matchmaking based though, and its tournament style hasn't sparked my interest since when Battle Royales first hit the scene long ago. And that cash out game mode is amazing. I've been trying to think of a game mode similar, but I just can't. It's very easy to understand, and yet complex enough to give you a ton of hard decisions. Like, should you go for the cash box directly, or wait for another team to bring it to you? Should you run in and try to Hail Mary ninja defuse at the last second, or save the revive token? How are you going to give yourself the biggest advantage while protecting a cash out? Bringing the fight to the enemy, or stalling out with various utility? That's not to say it doesn't have problems, though. For example, the game mode kinda supports third partying, which is an unfortunate carryover from games like Apex Legends. In a situation where a team respawns and there are two teams fighting on one cash box, and another preparing Fort Knox on the other side of the map, obviously the respawning team is going to third party the team that is engaged in, or at least recovering from, a big fight. The two teams think this is bullshit because they're the ones at a disadvantage, through no fault of their own, and the team across the map is stuck twiddling their thumbs. Sure, they are actively winning the game by sitting AFK for 2 minutes. It's not a massive balance issue, but it isn't fun. Nobody wants to stay sitting on their thumb the whole game. But the thing is, thinking about going for the cash out while yours is still going is suicidal. You could lose it all for a tiny chance of getting double money. Extremely high risk. Most competent teams aren't doing that. I still have quite a few gripes with this game. However, I'll save the rant for another video. For now, those were some of my thoughts regarding the finals. I think if the devs play their cards right, they could have an amazing game on their hands. Content updates and weapons should be a priority, and obviously tweaking of weapons as well for game balance and stuff like that. Or they could go the route of Halo Infinite. I don't know, bye!
Wink, 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 wink.